Lighting's dog, jukey. I don't have good lighting. I don't have any setup for that. Just, whatever light we have in here. So, is it gonna look like poo-poo? A little bit. Hopefully if you're coming onto this video and you're seeing this channel and the view count and all these other things, that does not matter. And I don't think it should. That should not be all that we're here for, okay? Whether or not the lighting is perfect and all that stuff. This is YouTube, okay? Remember the roots of what YouTube was. It was just a platform for coming on here to speak, just to have a little bit of fun, just to do your thing. Before it was about money and before it was about all that stuff, it was just about expressing yourself, being creative, doing something different, weird, interesting. Doing a lot of interesting things. So that's what I plan on doing on this channel, is trying to keep it as interesting as I can, trying to be somewhat interesting sometimes. Let's get right into it. I'm going to do a review about a band that definitely is going to be completely over most people's heads, probably 90% of people. It's going to be a band that came out sometime around the early 2000s. Whenever the nu metal scene was kind of coming into play, but it was more or less something that was just alt rock, kind of maybe sort of in the genre of pop rock, whatever was popular at the time, maybe. Like say, because on the little information that I know about them, and I can go into some of it. Okay, for one, they're based out of Orlando, Florida. And I'm sure that's probably, a pretty good place for bands. I haven't heard too many that have come out of there, but and they were coming out around the time of 12 Stones, Trust Company, Taproot, bands like that. Mostly Christian-rooted bands, I think. Christian-oriented bands. And I feel like there are some spiritual themes and spiritual elements to this particular band as well. The band in particular that I'm talking about is Still Naive. And I know, like, harkening back to one of my previous videos talking about being naive, I actually did stumble across this band just randomly. There's like random channels that start to post like just albums that nobody's heard of from like early 2000s, mid 2000s, 90s and stuff like that. Even 80s and stuff. There's like a lot of channels that post just music up. I don't even think they have the rights to do so. I think they just do it and they don't get caught doing it. Not for any real purpose. I think just to post the entire album up. I don't know, some of them might have permission to do so when it comes to certain things, but I don't think a lot of them do. They just post full albums, okay? There's some channels out there posting full albums. This happens to be one that I just stumbled across. The band is called Still Naive. So if you look it up, very little known, very underground, one album only, one record label. A band consists of who? I'm not even sure if I see. I'm not even seeing anything about the band here as far as like the names of the individual people. I think there's one guy named Christian. Christian's the lead singer. And then I forget the rest of the individuals in this band. You'd have to look this kind of stuff up for yourself if you really want to get into the intricacies of the band members. I think there might still be a little bit of information out there. But yeah, they kind of had a really short cycle where they came out early 2000s, like late 90s, early 2000s. They formed in 1999, according to this, and they only released one album, and it wasn't even through the label that they signed with, because apparently there are some problems there. They released it on their own through their website around that time. Probably little publicity, probably had little airplay. It was probably around this, the big swarm of new metal, alt rock, all that other stuff that was coming out around that time. And it basically got sucked under, and there was a lot of bands that came out around that time. Pretty underrated bands. I already did a review of, Guano Apes, and, that band I felt, could have been right up there with a lot of those other ones, but didn't hit very much over the U.S. Germany, they did pretty well, but you don't really hear their name mentioned at all. So this band, I just randomly stumbled across. Felt I'd give them a little bit of love, give them a slight, small review. Bare bones kind of band. I'd say there's nothing huge, nothing too special about them, nothing that really truly sets them apart, but there are some things that spoke to me because I kind of enjoyed some of the songs, lyrics, the sonic, vibes I was getting from this particular album. Like from the first 2-3 songs, I kind of liked, I like aspects of all of them, or at least a couple of them. Pick Up Sticks, we're going to go into a little, maybe a few of these songs. I did write down a bunch of stuff about them, or just how they made me feel, or what general feelings I got. Pick Up Sticks, it's a good beginner. It sets the tone, right, for the album. Let's see. It talks about a promised land, changing. It talks about change, and the entire album itself seems like if I had to give it a feel, a theme, it's about an individual who's trying to get in touch with himself, trying to feel himself out, not quite sure where he fits in the world. And there's a lot of albums, a lot of people that do that in their art. But this particular one, this song definitely sets that up, where a guy's he's just take me to a different place, take me to the promised land, try to, help me out here, guide me. I'm trying to figure this life out here. Too Late, I guess, talking about, maybe relationships that maybe fizzled out, burnt out, and stuff like that, and maybe people that were too late to try to fix them, and stuff like that. Meander, third track, just a general, the song itself, the track almost defines what it is. Meandering about in life. You have that you're just going about life, just what's next? I don't know, questioning everything, yada yada yada. That's what Meandering, the whole, and it's a really good song. I really liked it. I like the feel of the first. Let's see, Pick Up Sticks, Meander. I kind of like that. And yeah, I like the vibes I got off of Pick Up Sticks. So Supernatural, fourth song. In general, love for a girl, and I think there's a whole theme with a girl in this entire album, or with women in general. Him feeling like he's maybe having a hard time with relationships, which a lot of people do. Falling in love with this girl, having a really strong emotional connection, maybe even a spiritual connection with this girl in Supernatural. Red, putting people in their place. I don't know, it sounds like he's kind of getting a little angry at some people, or maybe he's a little apprehensive about something. Reality Distorted with Hole, about ways he views the world, running out of morphine. There's some lyrics there, just seeing maybe being caught up in a dream, and it just seems like it's not real, or surreal reality. That's what that one kind of gives me a feel for. Rehab, probably more of a self-explanatory song, maybe talking about getting through it, rehabilitating yourself after all that. These feels. Rain Tree kind of feels like a song that's trying to go for sort of a take me to a better place kind of thing still. Another kind of okay, build me a house under the rain tree, I just want to get away from this. Sees the world, kind of how he sees the world, sees it full of hate, sees it full of this, yada yada yada. not satisfied with the rock star life. It feels like there's some lyrics in there that seems like, I wonder if I'll hate it like the others do. I'm not sure if he's talking about hating the rock star life or just hating certain aspects of it. Maybe it's, you know, the fame that comes along with it, and I think that's a pretty common thing with you know, fame and stuff that comes along with it, and a lot of people say that in their songs too and lyrics. You can see that within music. Simple-minded, just being a simple-minded individual, simple man. Talking about it in terms of a dog too, I thought that was kind of weird, like a dog. It almost seemed like it was more of a put down than anything, but maybe, I don't know. Where I belong, just where you belong in the world probably. You can't handle it, like you can't handle who he is. Maybe he's talking about the woman or somebody in his relationships. You can't handle the person that he is within. Shelf Life, the actual name of the album, which I did not get into. You might have assumed it might have been the self-titled album. The title of the album is Shelf Life. I apologize for people that didn't get that in the beginning, but Still Naive, Shelf Life, name of the album. It just tells you that I'm like more of a rookie at doing this kind of stuff, trying to go into some of the depth on the songs, not necessarily picking apart the instruments because it's hard for me to do that. At this current point in me doing stuff, picking apart instruments, I would say as far as instrumentation and its overall vibes in that department, there's some good riffs. Definitely nothing too jumpy. Maybe some good melodic. There's some melodic elements. A couple grooves here and there you can get into. There's a few jump riffs in there. You know what I mean? I guess you could probably get into it a little bit. Nothing too crunchy, nothing too hard. And I'm really explaining this in layman's terms because I'm really trying to figure out how it felt in a sonic way. It had a nice little flow to it. You know what I mean? Kind of highs, lows, and stuff like that. Nothing too obscure, nothing too special. Started strong, kind of went down into, you know, okay, some softer songs, kind of a good some mid-tempo songs, and then kind of went back into some, yeah, a little bit of aggressive. Yeah, nothing too out there. So you're not going to get too extreme, but as far as an alt rock, you know, average middle of the road band, it's an okay band. I would say that, you know, maybe given the circumstances, they could have probably made it a little bit better. They could have gotten better as time went on. I feel like there might have been some untapped potential with this band, personally. But a lot of bands were coming out around that time. They sound a lot the same. And maybe they did get, you know, a better shot at it, you know. Shelf Life, being consumed by life, struggles, and maybe having a hard time coping with life in general. Shelf life, the shelf life of a person, the shelf life of one's life, I don't know, something like that. It's a good ender. It's a good ender. I mean, it's a good way to end the whole album, the overall feel of it. Like I said, just somebody trying to find himself, not really sure where he fits in, finding love, being really strongly in love with somebody, being kind of angry at certain people, yada, you know. But that's about it. And you know, Orlando, Florida. Don't necessarily know all the band member names, and you're probably not going to find this. I don't even know if it's on Amazon, iTunes, or anything like that. You can look for it just maybe on YouTube, maybe download it. I don't know, but it's an okay album. Middle of the road, but I kind of felt some, you know, I felt some vibes from it. I kind of liked it. I dug it personally. You may feel a certain way about it. I might do some other abstract or maybe underground, middle of the road albums, and just ones that, you know, didn't really see the light of day. I might do other albums like that if I find some. You know what I mean? Yay or nay? Who knows? But yeah, I think I'm gonna end it right here. I'd like to say Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for watching me babble on about music. Even though I don't necessarily know everything that I'm talking about or all that, I'm just kind of expressing how I feel about it because I am passionate about music and I wanted to try to do something in that field. And this is my way, I guess, of doing that. My outlet for doing that. And I do like to sing. I like to do other things like that. I do have a guitar, just haven't quite learned how to play it. A little bit lazy, a bit of a procrastinator too. But yeah. Anyway, that's a little tidbit about me. But again, thanks for tuning in. If you stayed stuck around this long, thank you. Keep searching for that truth. And I'll see you the next time I see you. Whether it be a review, a vlog, or a gaming video, or something else, I'll see you when I see you. So, have a good one.